All right, Coach. Hey, another year of Trego high school football. Tell me a little bit about your summer. Tell me how things went, and what's your outlook for the season?
We had a really good summer, man. I was really happy and pleased with the effort that the kids gave. We went to a couple camps, and I thought we participated and learned and did the things we were supposed to do there. And the weight room stuff was really, really good. And I finished it really nice. So, I'm really happy with that part of it. And coming into the season, we know we got the first 2 weeks were just going to be brutal, and that we were have to be really prepared with a lot of young kids coming in and playing. And the way it's worked out, we've got a lot more young kids than we thought playing, and so it's a growing process right now. But I am excited about the season. I'm excited about the fact that I think we're going to get better every week.
Awesome, that's great. Well, tell me, last week you had a little bit of a weather problem. We were in Northern Valley coming home last week, and your game was still going on.
Yeah.
But the score wound up 64-22. Tell me a little bit about that game.
Oh, Hoxie came in ready to play, and really the weather has nothing to do with it. The delay's the delay. We both had the same delay, and I thought our kids were going to come out ready to play, and I think where Hoxie jumped on us a little bit, did some offensive stuff we were not even kind of expecting, and they ran it really well. And Hoxie's really physical up front, and they kind of beat us up front a little bit, and it just the way it turned out. I'd like to say we're going to be a lot better this week, and I think we're going to. You want to grow so much between week 1 and 2, and I think we had a really good week of practice. So I think it's I hope that turns into the way it is.
Awesome. How about returning guys this year? Who's going to be your quarterback, you think, and just any kind of nucleus that you want to talk about?
Yeah, Owen Day runs our offense. He's got a really nice arm. He's a smart kid, very, very smart kid, and runs the ball really hard. And we put him in different sets and in different places, but he is the nucleus of what we're doing offensively, but he's got a tremendous weapon in Gunnar Wilson out on the outside. Gunnar's going to, he's not getting a lot of the love that I thought he should in the preseason stuff after the season he had last year, but I think he's going to be, he's obviously people are going to have to know where he's at, and so both of those two are seniors on the offensive side, and they're going to, that we're going to have to rely on them. We're going to have to use them as much as we can.
All right, we've covered this game with Hill City in the last 3, 4, 5 years, probably with you.
Yeah.
What's your expectations for Friday night with Hill City? There's Ryan, the Atkins kid is very exciting. Tell me about that and what you think you're going to have to do to be successful on Friday night.
Hey man, Hill City's loaded on the top end. They are. They're so good up top, and Aiden runs that offense and their defense is set up, it gives you problems. You got to scheme everything versus using your regular, normal, offensive line movements, that kind of stuff. So it's always a challenge, always is, and this year is going to be no different. They're good everywhere, and they're going to be, and they play hard. They always do, and they play hard against us. And we know going into it, it's going to be physical, and we're going to have to be more physical than we were last week if we're going to have a chance. And it's one of those things where we talk Hill City a lot during the weight room. We talk Hill City a lot during the off season, and so I hope we go up ready to play, and I hope we come out and actually try to be physical, and then we have a chance. And I really feel good about things then.
All right, thanks, Coach. All right, Coach. Hey, you're 1-0 so far this year. You beat Osborne last week, 58-12. How's the team? How many players you guys have out this year?
Currently, we got 26 guys on the team. We had initially 22 players, and then we had a few guys late decide they wanted to participate, which is good for us because it boosted our numbers and gave us a little bit more depth. Team's looking pretty good so far. We have high expectations coming off last year's record, where we fell a little bit short than where our goal was set at. But I feel pretty good about things. We started a little bit slow last week, but once we got going, I felt pretty good about things, and I like where we're at currently.
Awesome. All right, let's talk a little bit about last week. You and I were kind of walking in school this morning talking about it. 58-12, big game on paper. What's your thoughts, and how'd your team do?
Yeah, well, playing Osborne week 1, Coach Tierden's a great coach. You're always going to get a tough game. They're hurting on athletes as far as where they've been in the past, because in the past, 4 or 5 years when Osborne's had some really spectacular athletes, and
Sure.
they still do. They've got a few good ones there, but they probably don't have the depth that they've had in the past. Their numbers are a little bit down, and in that game we came out really rusty, and I think we had some new kids settle in some new roles this year that weren't playing last year, and now they've earned the right to be in certain spots, and they were a little bit nervous, and Osborne jumped out quick on us early in the beginning, and then once we settled down, I thought we played Hill City football, and we kind of rallied there and played a good 2.5 quarters after a rough first quarter, or first half quarter, I should say, where we looked really, really ugly and rusty there. But then we settled down and we played a good football game until it ended there in the third quarter.
Yeah, because you had to play on Thursday instead of Friday because of shortage on referees.
Yeah, it's crazy playing those Thursday games because it gives you one less day to prepare for your opponent, and that's always tough. Like I said, when you're playing a well-coached team, because your opponent's going to be well prepared against you. So that gave us a little bit of nervousness heading into that. But it's also nice, kind of for once, being a spectator on Friday and getting to see football from a fan's perspective, because we get to sit in the stands and go watch rival games, and that was kind of neat.
All right. Okay. How was the summer program for you? How did your weight room turn out for you?
So early on in the season, we expected 22 players to play, and we started that way early in the season. So of those 22 players that we had, I want to say probably 80% of them made every single day of weights. So we're getting very good in that department. Our kids have bought into the program. They keep each other accountable. They strive to be there every single day, and they make a point of it. And that's great for bonding for teams too. Like, there's a lot of stuff that outsiders may not know. They're like, well, the kid's just getting strong. Well, for us coaches, that's the bonding time. It gives kids confidence. It's a lot of stuff that you can't correlate on numbers on paper, and that stuff's valuable in the summer. And I'm really, really proud of our kids that this summer they did a great job of keeping each other accountable and working, pushing themselves hard in the weight room.
Awesome. Yeah, that's a good thing about showing up and being at weights every day. So, all right, Friday night, you got Trego, Coach Axton down there. What's your expectations?
Yeah, league rival. It's always a big game. I think you guys have probably done this game for us for the last.
I like doing this game.
Yeah, last 5 years or so. It's always a close game because we play Trego every year. They and these kids grow up knowing each other. And Coach Haxton and his staff are always have them really prepared. He's a good coach. He knows what he's doing, and he's got his kids working hard. And one thing that you get out of a Joaquini bunch is intensity. If you ever watch a Joaquini game, he's got his kids on the sideline. They kind of emulate both of their coaches. Both of the Haxton coaches are very emotional coaches, and they're excited, and they get their kids going. So they're going to be a tough, excited bunch. They're going to be well coached, and we're expecting a dogfight this week. So we just got to show up and give our best.
Thanks, Coach.
You bet.